Well, hello to everybody. How are you guys doing? I promise I'm gonna make this quick fast. We're not gonna be on here long. So first thing first, top commenter of the day goes to Kayla. Then we got Tay, we got Aaliyah, and we got Donnie. All right. So boom. Monday Night Raw kicked off with none other than our favorite balding superstar, Drew McIntyre. Okay. So Drew McIntyre kicked off Monday Night Raw. And basically, he was talking about his hiatus from WWE. After he went through his brutal Hell in a Cell match and everything that he went through, um, he basically was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas don't care about me. Did this shit skip a whole part? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Anyway, he was like, y'all don't care about me. Y'all don't give a shit about me. Nobody thought to ask what happened to me. Like, I went home and I lost a family member, which I don't wish that on nobody. So, um, my apologies, my condolences for your loss. I hope that you feel better, or at least you feel better now. Other than that, I ain't got nothing for you. Um, like I really don't. At this point, it is a situation of you keep trying to move the goalposts to fit your narrative, and I just don't like that. The very same thing I say about Kevin is the same thing I'm saying about Drew McIntyre. Like tonight, if this was about you going out there and getting revenge on those who have wronged you, Roman Reigns, Solo Sokoa, okay, and of course Sammy, Jimmy, Jay, whatever, I wouldn't have an issue. But the problem is you're not sticking in the realm of what you're talking about, because Solo is right there. Solo was the main reason why you lost that Clash at the Castle. Let's just keep it 100% funky. Keep it real. And he was a continuous thorn in your side after that. Yet you have let Solo live rent free, for over a year and a half. No consequences, no nothing. But you have made a vendetta at Jay, Sammy, and Jimmy. Okay, let's spin reality for a minute. Let's just break it down. Real talk. Your ass has gotten revenge on Sammy, Jimmy, and Jay on multiple occasions, especially Jay. You have cost Jay Uso championships. You have cost him opportunities at titles. You have beaten him for opportunities at titles. At this fucking point, your situation with Jay Uso should be over and done with. Okay? Jimmy Uso was one of the ones who helped you get the opportunity to go after Seth for the 85th time, and yet you still mad at him. Sammy, you had plenty of time to go after Sammy. Sammy was right there on Monday Night Raw before you started this obsessive bullshit with CM Punk. You had plenty of time to go after Sammy. You didn't do it. And then Solo been on SmackDown for almost a fucking year, running roughshod, and all you could focus on was CM Punk, because that was too much for you. But now you want to talk about, I gotta write all these, I need to do this. Nobody, this is the truth. No, the truth of the matter is you pick and choose who you deem to be. The truth of the matter is you are selective. You have selective outrage. You pick and choose who is guilty and who is innocent by how you decide. You determine it. And it's bullshit, because you had it. Solo was right there. He was right there. You done did it twice. Solo standing right there in the middle of the ring. Right there. You backed off. The only reason why I backed off is because you're the only one who stood up to Roman Reigns. No, he didn't. He never did. He took Roman Reigns' spot. He didn't stand up to him. When Roman went down at Mania, what did he do? He pretended like Roman didn't exist anymore because he lost. Never mind the fact that Solo was a fucking loser this entire time. Okay? Never mind that. Let's just keep it fucking real. Solo didn't stand up to anybody. He took Roman's spot and he gathered up a bunch of misfits. And that's no shade to Jacob, to Tama Tonga, or Tongaloa. But given the lore of what we're looking at within the family, they are obviously the black sheeps. They're the ones that everybody stays away from. So all he did was rally the troops around him so he could have people that'll listen to him, because he knew nobody on some real shit was going to do that. That's not standing up to Roman Reigns. You sidestepped him because you didn't really want to have to go up against him. And you never really fought him one-on-one. You always find some kind of way to back out of the fight or to use Jacob to do your bidding. So I don't know where you're getting your information. I don't know what you're seeing and watching. But baby, let me tell you, first things first, Solo is not no fucking martyr for standing up to Roman Reigns. You literally stood there and watched Sami Zayn do it. You watched Jay do it. Okay, you watched Jimmy do it. But because they went back to protect their family, and at the end of the day, that's their family. Now all of a sudden, you was right. I told y'all what Jey Uso was, and now y'all don't believe me. But you praise him, and you doing all of this. So when Sami comes out there, and Sami tells you the fucking truth, the choices that you make in life beget your consequences. You cannot get mad at us and get mad at the fans and get mad at your coworkers because you have missed time with your family and your friends. Now, again, I sympathize with you. You lost a family member. Nobody deserves to lose a family member and not have the ability to be able to go back and say goodbye. But your story is no different from the countless of others who are in the back who have sacrificed and dedicated their lives to the business. You are not a martyr. You're one of many. And that's just the bottom line. It doesn't make you special because you didn't get to go to birthdays, holidays, cookouts, and all this other bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. All it means is that you have to make the sacrifice mean something. It's not our fault. You mad because the fans wasn't begging to find out where you were? We did what everybody else did. We gave you a fucking break because you went through hell. That's what we were supposed to do. What was we supposed to be doing? Begging and pleading for you to bring your ass back to TV? Nah, fam. You damn near broke your back on a set of steps in the middle of a ring. You was bleeding like a stuck pig. You and CM Punk. The only reason why you mad is because you're not getting all the glory. You're not getting all the accolades, but your ass didn't win the fucking match. You talked all this bullshit. You ran your mouth for months. All I need is an opportunity. Bitch, you had one. And you still lost. Now what? Now, because you ain't got no other leg to stand on when it comes to CM Punk, now you want to pivot and go back to the bloodline? Nah, Drew. Nah, we're not finna even fucking go there. We just not. Sami is right. You made a choice. And unfortunately, those choices require certain sacrifices. And it's no different than the sacrifices that the rest of us have to make in order for us to live the life we want to live. So you're not going to put that shit off on me and any of the other fans watching this show. That's not our fault. God. Like Solo was the actual one who cost you. I mean, multiple times. He was the one. And you stand there. The end of the show comes up. You stand there and you walk away. You walk away. You could have been right there even in the odds. But it's not about you getting revenge. It's about you being the center of attention. You and Kevin Owens have the same situation, different toilet. The only difference is in Kevin's defense, I can kind of see where Kevin coming from, but his jealousy is clouding his judgment. That is his only issue. I would not be mad at Kevin if he felt like if the whole situation with him was just about Cody not keeping it real with him. When in all actuality, Cody tried. Cody tried to talk to him, tried to explain it. He brushed him off. Kevin didn't want to hear it because he really don't want the responsibility or he doesn't need the ability to be able to forgive Cody because he doesn't want to. The same thing goes for Drew. He needs a reason. So he has to make himself out to be the savior. I tried to save you people. I ain't asked to be saved. You felt like we needed to be saved. I don't know what you were saving us from. I'm trying to understand where y'all coming from, but y'all be coming out of left field with y'all bullshit, and it just do not make sense. It just don't. I just wish that you would find a way to do what you want to do. Just say you want the championship. Just say you like causing chaos. You know what I can respect? At least Bronson Reed is not on no bullshit. You see Bronson Reed coming, he telling you what he doing. I don't give a fuck about you. I just want a championship. And if I gotta go through this whole motherfucking roster to do it, then goddamn it, that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. Seth Rollins is the biggest name on the roster. So I took his bitch ass out. I can respect that. I can respect that. That's some real shit. I want championship. I want accolades. I want respect. How do I get it? Well, I can't get it by doing it straight up because Adam Pearce don't respond to that shit. So the only way I'm going to get what I want is I got to start taking motherfuckers out. And that's exactly what his ass did. You can't be mad at him because it ain't like he lied. He ain't pretending to be nothing that he not. It's just nuts. It just don't make no damn sense. Now, Sammy and Drew got into it. They started fighting. Because Sammy told him straight up that he can't blame us for the bullshit. We ain't got nothing to do with that. This your life. You chose it. Don't get mad at me because it ain't what you thought it was going to be. Shit. Do not get mad at us. We didn't ask for this. We didn't even pick you. Shit. The old man that ain't even there picked your punk ass. We didn't do it. What we did. Shit. Now, let me tell y'all what else happened. So, we got Finn and Liv are no longer talking to each other. They're mad. Finn is upset because they lost the tag team titles. Liv is mad because Finn don't listen to her because she told Finn to stay away from Damian Priest and let it go. And because of that, they've lost the tag team title. So they going back and forth, arguing like siblings, like little brother and sisters do. And so Dom was like, hey, it's Christmas. We need to be together. We are a family. Let's just make this work. I'm going to go and take on Damian Priest, and we going to get this worked out. And so Finn is like, so what you trying to say? I can't do it. And Dom is like, that's not what I said. He's like, we got to work as a family. I got a plan. Just let me go talk to Pierce, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what the plan is. So Finn was cool, and Liv and Finn is sitting up there about to cry and shit, okay? So the funniest part of the show, and I'm not even going to lie, this is the only time I was looking at Dom like, Dom, tell him. Y'all know for weeks, the New Day have been getting their asses handed to them by everybody who could give it to them. And they standing out there and they having a conversation, and Dom is walking by. And they like, hey, finally somebody who understands where we're coming from. And Dom goes, man, I don't like Biggie, but y'all crazy. And wowzers, bro. Wowzers. That wasn't even the kicker, because later on in the night, Joe Tessitore was talking to Wade, and he was saying, like, you know, I don't know what the New Day thought the response to their bullshit was gonna be, but he said you got to be outside your mind to believe that people weren't gonna respond or react to you the way that they did. So of course, they came out there because they heard what Joe said. So they came out there and was like, you supposed to be unbiased. You're not supposed to be out here talking shit about us. Like, and then Xavier was like, well, the only reason why Wade is agreeing is because he just like Big E. He ain't no man. He ain't man enough to come out here and lace up his boots and wrestle again. So they got in the ring, and Kofi was like, my mama, it came, I'm here, I'm from Boston, because they were still in Boston. So we know that this was pre-taped. They were still in Boston, and he was like, my mama is here. I brought my mama here so that I can have and show my mama the fruits of my labor and really show her how the fans treat me. And this is what y'all do. Y'all embarrass me. You embarrass me in front of my mother. This is not what my mother showed up to the show for. So he comes out there, he apologizes to his mama. I ain't gonna lie. When y'all listen to my commentary on this part, y'all gonna be like, Tiffany, you dead ass wrong. But I was like, well, you a little shit, and if your mama agreed and raised you like that, then she a shit too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's what I said. That's what I said. But I took it back after Mama Kofi pretty much got her son together. Okay, because he was standing up there in front of her, and he was just like, Mama, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mama. And she was like, what is wrong with you? I ain't raised you like this. What is wrong with you? They both standing there tripping. Now, Mama Kofi walks away. I was like, period. Get them together. Everybody was tearing their asses up. Everybody. She said, you know what? That you have to be at 50 shades of effed up if Dom, of all people, doesn't agree with the New Day. Exactly my point. Dom trash, and even he was like, y'all was wild for doing that to E, right? Nuts. So they get to the back, and Rey Mysterio is back there again, and he was like, you know what? I just wanted to tell y'all that last time I spoke to y'all, I was out of pocket. I was wrong, and I, as a locker room leader, I should have handled this differently. So for that, I apologize. But he was like, hey, y'all got to make sure y'all apologize, not only to Big E, but to the locker room, and make sure you mean it. And it was like, we're not apologizing. He was like, okay, you don't want to apologize? Cool. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. But he said what you should get used to hearing is New Day sucks, which is what the audience more than likely is going to be chanting very, very soon. So that was pretty much the gist of New Day and their sentiments, which warmed my motherfucking heart. Now let's go to the tournament. Now last week, Big Lip Sonya and her two finger queens, Shayna Baszler and January 6th, they took out Kairi Sane, which made her unable to compete. She was not cleared to compete. So they thought that they could just step up and step in and get the shot. In all fairness, Adam Pearce normally do it that way. Okay? It ain't like Adam don't normally reward the bad behavior. But I guess now he's decided to grow some and say, nah, I'm not doing that. Plus, he don't like Sonya. So, not the Scissor Sisters. Please. Shit. Y'all know he don't fuck with Sonya like that. So, he ain't get that bitch nothing. She came up, she was like, well, Adam, you know I've been doing your job. I've done it better than you for years. So, listen, I know Kairi Sane is out. I'm here to take her spot. So just give me the spot so I can go ahead and go out there and win this match. And he was like, I'm not giving you a motherfucking thing. He was like, the reason why Kyrie Sane is out is because of you. Y'all went and attacked her. See, my thing is this. If you're going to do something, then do it right, bitch. At the bare minimum, you should have attacked and then left her. Why would you stand there and let the cameras catch you attack her? That was stupid. That was dumb. Because you could go and get your opportunity by basically having plausible deniability. Be like, you have no proof that I was the one who attacked her. I don't know what you're talking about. I was in the locker room with my homegirls. I was nowhere near her. And to be fair, they had no proof. So they couldn't just go and say, oh, you attacked him. They couldn't go and say that. So, but no, Sonya is too fucking dumb to do it the right way. So her ass don't look like the culprit. Like, you got to protect your ass. God, I got to teach you hoes how to do everything. Okay? Just stupid. Anyways, Adam told her, nah, I found a replacement. Her replacement is Io Sky. Io Sky went out there, beat Alba Fire and Natalya, and won. She is now the fourth person, and she is a part of the semifinals. Io Sky will face off against Lyra Valkyria. Dakota Kai will face off against Zoe Stark. Now, if something should happen to Dakota Kai via PFC, then Lyra or Io beating Zoe Stark is fine by me. I really do want Dakota to advance and get her shine. As much as I love Lyra, as much as I love Io, both of them have been given championships on more than one brand. Okay? Io Sky is the most decorated of all of them. And Zoe Stark has even gotten championships and on a different brand. Dakota Kai is the only one in this scenario outside of Zoe. She is the only one who should definitely win and deserves to win over everybody. Dakota deserves it. Dakota should have been NXT Women's Champion years ago. She could have been a multiple time NXT Women's Champion if we bring honest. Okay? Let's just keep it fucking real. But Triple H didn't pull the trigger on her. He got a perfect opportunity with Dakota right now. Face or heel, I don't give a damn. Just give the girl the championship. Give it to her. She deserves it. She's earned it. She done lost 2 knees fucking around with y'all. Okay? Let that girl do what she got to do. Let her do what she got to do. Oh, I know. I know she's going to be a face champion. I'm just saying, I don't care what she is. Let her have the title. Let her have the title. She said, Nicole said, all that finger banging and no brain cells. Mm-hmm. Not one. Just stupid. It's just the stupidest thing. So, next week, which I think all of these shows for these next couple of weeks are going to be pre-recorded. Probably until after, it's probably going to be pre-recorded until after New Year's. That's probably when they're going to start back up, doing live shows again. But I think all of these shows have been pre-recorded, which is fine by me. I don't have an issue with that. I'm low-key glad nobody's leaking anything. I haven't seen anything, which thank God, because people are so rude. But anyways, next week we're going to have Dakota versus Zoe and Io versus Lyra. And I would not mind a damage control fight out to the end. But I hope that Dakota advances. And to me, it doesn't matter who wins with Io versus Lyra Valkyria. It really doesn't. I don't care. I'm just glad that Dakota is getting the opportunity she rightfully deserves. She says Dakota ain't got no ligaments and still with the graps. And I can't say that for a lot of bitches. Child. Talk about Negan Knox, child. They only got 1 week till Netflix. 1 week.
Mm-hmm. Monday after next.
No, it's not. Oh shit. We 2 weeks out. We almost a week out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. God, I didn't even think about that. Man. Damn. It is the last USA show next week. Oh, fuck. Man, that's going to be surreal.
Mm-hmm.
I got to pay my Netflix bill now. This some bullshit. I don't know if I wanted the extra hour. I low-key like it at 2 hours. Also, can we talk about Penna? Yes, I'm gonna get to him. I promise I'm getting to him. So the last 2 weeks, that vignette with the zero with the slash through it, that is Penna zero. And if you saw this week, there was a Pentagon in flashing in the new vignette, which is it is alluding to Penna zero coming. So if you're not adept on who Penna is, let me see if I can help you out. Let me see if I can help. Nicole's in the comments, so you know Nicole knows. Okay. But I want everybody to have a clear understanding of who Penna is. Now, over on, I think this is Bleacher. On this is a website called The Takedown. She says zero fear. If you have ever seen Lucha Underground, I'm sure you've seen Penna there. Penna also was on AEW for quite some time. I want to say he was there from the very beginning. Nicole, she can back me or correct me in the comments, but he was there for a while. And Penna was a major staple in AEW's foundation up until recent years, but he was a very, very prominent fixture over there. Um, she says he's George Kittle's favorite wrestler. He does chant. He does his chant on the field. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He was on MLW for a couple of years. She said, "Yeah, so that's correct. He was there when they first started, so he's been there since the very beginning. He was one of their pillars." But I'm gonna show y'all what the takedown said about Penna and the 5 facts you should know about him. I'm gonna share it. Since they have it, I'm gonna share it. So Penna L0 Maito, if I'm saying it wrong, please correct me, is getting ready to debut. More than likely, he will be there on January 6th. I'm not sure how he's going to debut, but he is going to be there. Penna also goes by Pentagon Jr. And his contract with AEW was up a little while ago. And of course, he was supposed to debut as a package with Ray Phoenix, but that has been stalled due to AEW's stoppage of Ray Phoenix. They added Ray Phoenix's injury to his contract, which forces him to stay under contract with AEW for about another year. Ray Phoenix suffered a really bad injury in AEW and he was out for quite some time. And then there's some rumors alluding to Ray Phoenix's treatment, which that is another story for another day. And until Ray Phoenix says his truth, I will not be speaking on that topic any further than what he has confirmed or denied, because I would rather have the conversation about what he has said rather than to allude to what I believe. Although I do have my thoughts, I don't want to put that out there. I'd rather he just tell his own story. Now, she said Kittle has talked about him multiple times in post-game interviews. Okay. I think they're going to call him Pentagon since you see a glimpse of a pentagram in the one they showed today. Okay, so they're going to go with Pentagon, which that's how I knew him, was as Pentagon. I didn't know him as Penna L0. I didn't know who that was when they was talking about him. I remember originally I wasn't sure of who that was, but I figured it out once I saw his face. I was like, oh, that's Pentagon. I know that. So first fact that they have up here on the takedown is that the Lucha Brothers, which is Ray Phoenix and Pentagon, have won the tag team championships across the globe. So he is one half of the Lucha Brothers, and this is his real life brother, Ray Phoenix, which I didn't know that. Nobody told me. I didn't ask. I just assumed that they were tag partners like everybody else, but they are real brothers, which is really cool. She said also 3 of the 5 women he had his amazing intergender matches are in WWE currently. That is a fun fact. Love that. Is Candace one of them? No, it's Io Sky. I know for a fact it's Io. Is it Kyrie? Who's the 3 women? One of them is Io, and who's the other 2? While she's typing it, I'm gonna tell you guys what it says. So it says Pena is known for his big tag team wrestling prowess as one half of the Lucha Brothers, a tag team comprised of himself and his real-life brother, Ray Phoenix. The pair have been wowing audiences all around the world with their lucha aerial acrobatics for nearly a decade. The Lucha Brothers are coming off a 5-year run in All Elite Wrestling, where they captured the AEW Tag Championships once, in the AEW Trios titles once, alongside their partner Pac, a group collectively known as the Death Triangle. Pena and Phoenix have also won tag team gold in Impact, Ring of Honor, AAA, AAW, and MLW. So they've pretty much done it all. Jesus. The only thing left is the WWE. So, look at that. Pentagon has wrestled Chelsea Green, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane in some really great intergender matches. Love that. Chelsea Green is out here doing the most. Now, they do say this is a fun fact. I don't think this should be a fact that's up here, but Ray Phoenix is still under contract with AEW, and it is because of what I said. It says Pena is an accomplished singles wrestler in his own right. Pena and Phoenix rarely worked together during their early years in AAA and the Lucha Underground. It wasn't until 2015 that they began their wildly successful run as a tag team. Fun fact, one of their very first times teaming with each other was within a trios bout with El Hijo del Fantasma, WWE's Santos Escobar, as their partner. In addition to his accomplished tag team resume, Pentagon Jr. has more than established himself as a singles competitor over his 2 decades in the ring. He's captured multiple world championships across various promotions, including Impact, AAA, AAW, PCW, and Lucha Underground. He's a legitimate international man of mystery. Details about Pena's life outside the ring remain relatively unknown to wrestling fans, as is usually the case with masked wrestlers who hail from Mexico. His identity has been kept under wraps. Pena's real name is still a secret after all these years. We know that he was born in Hualapa. I'm going to mess this up. Veracruz, Mexico in 1985. He has a number of brothers and sisters, including his younger brother, Ray Phoenix, but a precise number has never been reported. Other than that, the man who attacks his wrestling career with no fear is cloaked by a cloud of mystery. So, you don't know who Pentagon really is. Nobody has his name. Nobody knows anything about his personal life, which I like. I don't want to know about your business. I just want to watch you on TV. Nicole said Io and Kyrie were a part of a faction known as the Black Lotus Triad, and Chelsea was called Reclusa. Is that her name? Sorry if I said it wrong. At the time, fun fact, she hadn't even been wrestling a year when she had that match. That's crazy. Isn't it awesome? He's a true man of mystery. And the 5th fact is reverse the fortunes of a cursed gimmick. All right. It's not uncommon for a wrestler to undergo multiple name and gimmick changes during the early years of their career, and Pena is no different. He began his journey in pro wrestling back in 2004 under the name Zeus, and later adopted the Dark Dragon persona while wrestling in AAA. It wasn't until 2012 when Pena donned the mask of a character that many believed to be cursed. Pentagon Jr. was the ninth man to take on the name that dated back to the mid 90s and embraced his dark past with Cero Miedo. Zero fear. Although he had every right to at least be trepidatious, the first man to assume the role suffered a career ending neck injury, while another was falsely accused of murder. Others simply went on to lackluster careers. I, I might have to do some research into this mask. This is interesting. I might do a little research in this mask and do a whole video on this mask because this is crazy. The cursed mask of Pentagon Jr. But he is fine. I saw a pic of him without the mask and I was like, oh, that's crazy. Yep, Pentagon is a cursed lucha name. I am going to look this up. I feel like I could do some research on this and we can talk about this on the pod because this would be interesting. Alexis would really love this. She would really love this, but it's got so much going back on that. That's nuts. His lore is so interesting. That's insane. But I love that. So Penta is coming to the WWE, and they've made it very clear with the vignettes that we've seen the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. So we've got what, like maybe a week, maybe two, before we see Penta debut in WWE. It's going to be a very fun time. Netflix, WWE, and not only that, but CM Punk and, of course, Seth freaking Rollins are finally going to come to blows. And then we're going to move forward. We're going to see how this works. The mask is going to do numbers with kids and on the WWE shop. Oh, dead ass. That's easy money right there. So Seth freaking Rollins had an interview with Jackie Redmond today. He sat and he talked about his true anger towards CM Punk and why this betrayal is so visceral for him, why he can't seem to let this go. And Jackie just wanted to understand why he can't seem to move past CM Punk. Why is he such a trigger for him? And he says he doesn't think that it's not about like the betrayal per se. It's the hypocrisy for him. He feels as though that he's been saying for years that the WWE needs him, and he walked his happy ass out and was glad to leave and was talking mad shit for years. But the reality is that he needs the E, and he's just a hypocrite, And he's like, I need to release whatever this is that is having me obsessed and focused on CM Punk. I need to get this out. He said, this is going to be a fight. This isn't going to be a match. This is going to be a brawl. And I said, you know what? I do believe that this is about the hypocrisy. But at the same time, I also think that this is about jealousy with Seth Rollins too. Seth is like, this is my time. This is my time. I built this place back up when you left, and here you come. You get to come in and reap the benefits of my hard work. You get to come in and reap the benefits of everything I've done. So what am I? Just a fucking placeholder for you? No, this is my business. This is my company. You are coming in on my turf now. And in all fairness to him, respect to that, because I don't blame him for that. However, I do think that there are some personal issues that are there, and that's fine. I mean, he's well within his right to feel how he feels. CM Punk has been doing the most since he left WWE, and to be fair, in some instances, he deserved to feel how he felt, but at the same time, at some point, you gotta let shit go, And CM Punk was holding on to shit for years. We're talking 5 years down the line, 7 years down the line, 8 years down the line, and you're still crying and complaining and moaning and groaning. And it's like, when are you going to move forward and stop with the bullshit? And it took him a long time to grow up. I have told you guys for years, when CM Punk is not self-destructive, when he is not intentionally doing things to destroy himself, he actually has the potential to be great. He truly does. And the proof is in the pudding. I wasn't lying. And a lot of y'all got mad at me because I was happy that he was back in WWE. And I was like, this is why. Because in order for CM Punk to flourish, he needs a place that has a position that says you can't go that far. You gotta fall back. He needs structure. He needs discipline. And it's not about nobody lording over him or any of that. It's about structure and discipline. There are two things that are right in this world. Okay? Two things that are indefinite that are gonna happen. You'll be born, you will die. One way or another. Maybe three. You gotta pay taxes. But at the end of the day, that's just the bottom line. CM Punk's not a bad guy, but he's destructive. He's self-destructive. And it was clear in how he behaved. But when you're in AEW the way that he was, and he was ingrained in there so much so where he was one of the go-to people in that company, especially with Tony Khan, it got to a point where people wanted him out because they didn't like the power he was gaining. And I'm going to tell you who that was, the Young Bucks. They didn't like it. They didn't like the kind of power he was getting. They didn't like the ear of Tony Khan that he had. They didn't like that shit. So they did what they had to get rid of him. Believe what you want. That's my conspiracy theory moment. Believe what you want. But in the meantime of CM Punk being at home, doing movies, reality TV, going over to AEW, Seth Rollins was carrying the company on his back, putting other people in positions to carry the company like Roman Reigns and moving and shaking so that WWE can continue. Whether it was good, whether it was bad or indifferent, he was there. So in a way, he has a right to feel some type of way when a guy who hasn't put in the work, in his eyes, he hasn't put in the work the last 10 years, but he gets to reap the benefits of your hard work, your changes, your implementations, all of the things that you and the other locker room leaders have done to reshape this locker room so that it is not negative and that it isn't something that feels like an all boys club. So the women feel safe back there, like they're not being treated like pieces of meat. They've done everything that they could. And you get to come back and reap the benefits, not only in the backstage, but in the forefront, on TV, in storylines. I would feel some kind of way too. Now, when you're looking at it from CM Punk's side, which is interesting, they only did an interview with Jackie and Seth today. They didn't have anything with CM Punk as far as I saw. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But he made it very clear that this was going to be a brawl. This was going to be a fight. And once it's over, it's over. But that was going to be how it's going to go down. I'm very interested in this fight. I think out of all, this is going to be the main event as well. This fight between Seth and CM Punk is going to be the main event. I thought they were going to do Tribal Combat as the main event, but they aren't. Seth and CM Punk's fight is the main event of the January 6th show on Netflix. I hope and pray that Netflix is beefing up these servers. Don't they have Beyonce's concert happening on Netflix?
Christmas.
It's on Christmas Day, not Christmas Eve. Okay, so Christmas Day is gonna be the new test. Especially with these Bayhive hoes running around, child.
The NFL and the Beehive all watching that game on Christmas.
Yes. This is gonna be nuts. Did they change it? No. No, it's gonna be Beyonce's concert's gonna be on Christmas, if that's what you're asking. But they're gonna have Seth and CM Punk as the main event. Hold on. Yep. 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 It's the main event. It's not. They better not mess up my Cowboy Carter concert, okay? Because, girl, I didn't get to go. I didn't get to go to the concert to listen to none of the Renaissance stuff. So I hope she performs some Cowboy. She gonna perform Cowboy Carter, but I want to see it. No, the main event. No, the main event really is Seth and CM Punk. I just Googled it. It is the main event. That's what they officially announced as the main event. It's going to be the headline. It definitely is the final match of the night. It is not Tribal Combat, which I thought it would be Tribal Combat, but it seemed like Seth and CM Punk supersedes the Tribal Chief, which is interesting. But let's get to some less important matches that happened. Okay, so Miz went up against Dexter Lumis. I didn't even get to see if he won or not, to be honest with you. I don't know who won in this match, if it was Miz or Dexter, or if I think it went to count out because it did. It was a disqualification. Karrion Kross came out there dressed like he was John Wick and took out it took out Dexter because Dexter took out both Akam and Razor. And they got Dexter in the ring. They surrounded him, and then the Wyatt family came out. And the only person that was missing was Uncle Howdy. Miz bounced. As soon as the lights went out, Miz ran like a motherfucker. And it was just Karrion and Final Testament and the rest of the Wyatt sick. But Uncle Howdy wasn't out there, and neither was Miz, which made me question where the fuck Uncle Howdy was and what was going on. Because Miz has been trying to distance himself from the Wyatt sick ever since they beat them. He knows full well that the Wyatt sick is not going to stop doing what they're doing. And Karrion thinks that because they got the drop on them, all they got to do now is keep their foot on them and they'll back up. But that's not how this works with them. And so Karrion and the Final Testament are about to learn a very, very hard lesson. However, I don't know how this lesson is going to be taught, but it's about to happen. Now, one thing outside of kayfabe is Karrion wrote a book. Pre-order for the book is set. I am going to get that book as well, and we'll do Karrion's book sometime later on for Wrestling Book Club. But for now, the first book we're going to start off with is Lita's book because it's only an hour and a few minutes. I'll do her book first, then we'll start on Becky's, and we'll have Wrestling Book Club, 5 chapters of Becky, and we'll do the whole book for Lita, and I'll tell y'all all about that. Now, let's go to the other match. Otis went up against Akira Tozawa. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he got a book coming out, and I think it's gonna be really good. Which I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna read it. She said I'm gonna crash the reviews. So Otis and Akira went out there along with Maxine. Maxine just got engaged. Did y'all see that? Maxine is engaged. Congratulations to Maxine. She's engaged to one of the WWE wrestlers over in NXT. He's a rookie, but they're engaged. I guess he'll make his NXT debut sometime soon. He's still under contract with the E. He's a big motherfucker. Oh, he's a big, light-skinned black dude. Big man. I thought he was a big-ass Carmelo Hayes. I said, what the hell? Oh, but she's getting married. He had proposed to her on the beach. It was a beautiful thing. Her ring is gorgeous. And Maxine's just genuinely a very nice person. So I'm very happy for her. She's getting married, and I hope she has the best of luck in her marriage, and I hope everything works out for her. I really do. I'm happy, so happy for her. He is a big, when I say he's a big man, that is a big man. Height, muscle, everything. He's huge. So I know Maxine happy. I know Maxine happy. Okay. But anyway, everybody was out there for this match between Akira and Chad. I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't get to see that either because I went to the bathroom and came back, and Otis was in the ring staring down Chad. I guess Akira lost. I can't. Yeah. He lost.
He lost,
and they beat him up.
Yeah, he went too far with it, and Otis went out there and went having that shit.
Okay, he wouldn't stop. So I guess because he went too far, Otis got upset and came in there and basically stared them down. And that Otis ran behind um the Creed brothers and hid behind them. And next week, that led to a match that's scheduled between Otis and Chad, which this match should have been happened a long time ago, if we're being honest. But I'm glad that it's happening next week. It's a nice, little piece for them to they live like real life. They live right down the street. They train together. They're actually friends in real life outside of kayfabe. So these two battling it out is going to be a good match. Chad Gable always puts on excellent matches. It's not about Gable being a good wrestler. I just hate his character, which I'm supposed to. I'm not supposed to love his character. I'm supposed to hate his character. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. So respect to Chad Gable for that. But he is going to be competing next week against Otis, and I'm actually looking forward to that match. Now, there was another match tonight. I told you that Dom arranged to go up against Damian Priest once again. This was a setup, of course. All members of Judgment Day were ringside with the exception of Finn. He was hiding somewhere in the wings. JD McDonough was standing there in costume as a Santa. Carlito was under the ring as just hiding under the ring waiting for his chance. And like I said, Finn was somewhere in the vicinity of the ring. And as the match progressed, they ultimately all ended up getting pulled out. They tried to jump Damian, and the War Raiders came out and evened the score a little bit. And they were able to take them out and systematically stand tall over the Judgment Day. They went in the back, and the War Raiders were talking, and Damian Priest came up to him, and they basically was like, fam, we got your back. We may not always see eye to eye, but when it came down to brass tactics, you came out there and you had our back, and we respect you for that. And he was like, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming out there and helping me out, because that could have went real bad for me. And he said, if y'all going to go to war with Judgment Day, then I got y'all back. I'll be right there with you. So finally, the scales are evening out. It's been tipped. So we got Damian Priest. Give Junior the last of his medicine for the day. You might want to give him a double shot because he hasn't had the other 10 meals.
Right.
Okay, and give him his nighttime gummies so he can lay down because it's 11 o'clock. Sorry, y'all. Had to talk to my babes about my nephew. But so, given the fact that Damian has had to take on the Judgment Day alone or just with Rhea on multiple occasions, it's been interesting to see people finally standing up to the Judgment Day. Now, the Judgment Day seems to be on the rocks, which I'm sure they're going to recover and be besties again. And hopefully, this coming Monday on Monday Night Raw, we'll see some changes. Now, this week, we didn't see any Rhea Ripley. Looks like she had the week off this week, which we love that for Rhea because Rhea works very, very hard. We love that for her. But we did get to see Jey Uso return. Jey Uso has been gone for 3 weeks because of this man. He was taken out and not medically cleared for 3 weeks. Jey Uso returned when Sammy and Drew were fighting it out. Now, into the show, the main event was Drew versus Sammy. And Drew made it very clear that Sami Zayn has never beaten him in singles competition. And Sammy felt like he had something to prove. Despite the fact that he is not 100%, he has felt like Drew McIntyre is a thorn in his side that he needs to best. And in my opinion, you do what you got to do, but you need to do it when you're healthy and you're fully committed and focused. In this case, Drew has the upper hand because he has the health on his side. Sammy did not. So Sammy made it very clear to Jey Uso that he was going to go after Drew McIntyre and take him down. And he's going to get that W that he so desperately needs. And Jey Uso was first contesting it, but then he decided to let his homeboy have his moment. And then he said, well, I got next. So they made their pact. They had their handshake and the game was on. Sammy and Drew had the match. Sammy fought valiantly. He did not give up easily. This wasn't a simple win for Drew McIntyre. He had to work very hard to beat Sami Zayn, which most people do. In the end, though, Sammy's body couldn't go where his heart wanted him to go, and he ended up losing against Drew McIntyre. And instead of Drew being a graceful winner and walking away, he decided to attack Sammy and continue to beat him down. I guess this was an attempt to break his spirit. In the end, this only brought out his brother Jey Uso to even the odds somewhat and start the fight. But unfortunately for him, the new bloodline show up and take him out. And Drew McIntyre, instead of taking his anger and frustration out on the new bloodline, what does he do? He slowly backs out of the ring and leaves Jimmy and Sam, well, leaves Jay and Sammy to be picked off one by one by Solo, Jacob, and Tama Tonga. And no matter how hard they fought, despite the fact that they fought hard to defend themselves against these three men, they were bested, unfortunately, by all three of them and laid out. Now, I imagine that on Friday, this isn't going to be as simple as they think it is. And by Monday, when it comes to January 6th with the tribal combat, things are not going to be as simple as just a 1, 2, 3 pin either. Things are going to get messy. And I think it's going to get messy because The Rock is also supposed to be on there on January 6th. And I don't think that the tribal chief is going to win this match that easy. And even if he does, I think Paul Heyman is going to screw him over and become the wise man for The Rock. That's what I think. But if Roman loses, it would make more sense for him to lose if they do it that way. Because Roman, they don't want Roman to get his power back no way. And I feel like if he wins, it would low key defeat the purpose. You know what I mean? Like Solo could be considered the tribal chief, true enough, because he earned it. But The Rock could come in there and beat down Solo and tell them to beat them down. And like everybody turns on Solo, everybody beats down Roman. And The Rock takes the Ulafala and was like, this is something that should have been bestowed upon me from the very beginning. You feel what I'm saying? And then start the feud between him and The Rock. I really need for that to happen. I really do. Good for you, babe. Um, Other than that, y'all, that is it. That was the show. It was a very simple, straightforward show. There wasn't a lot going on Monday Night Raw. It did set up the events for the next couple of weeks, and January 6th is literally around the corner. It's so strange to believe that we are not too far from the new year. Isn't that crazy? That's nuts. But the years go by faster the older that we get. So please cherish your time. Don't waste it. And make sure that every day you do something meaningful or getting closer to that end game, that goal. I said this earlier on my live, on my Instagram to everybody. But number one, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I am not going to go live Tuesday or Wednesday. I more than likely will go live Thursday for you guys. And we'll talk about NXT. We'll do Freestyle Thursday. We'll have a good time. We might even play a few games. No worries. But we're going to have a good time. I promise. It's going to be fun. But we're going to do all of that on Thursday because Tuesday and Wednesday are the holidays. And I want to spend time with my family just like you do. I want you guys to have a good, happy, healthy holiday. If you're going to be alone on your holiday, I know it can be a little bit exhausting and it can feel a little bit of a sadness and dread. But instead of doing that, take it as a day of peace. You get to have some peace and quiet. You don't have to go to work. You get to chill and relax in your home and do whatever you want to do. And if you want to be around people, there are plenty of bars and restaurants that are open that you can go and have family style dinners at or just enjoy other people's company. There are also apps where you can join other Friendsgivings. I know this sounds weird or like other people's friends dinners. You can join those. You can do that on an app. If you're invited to a friend's place for dinner, I think you should go rather than staying at home. If you broke and you ain't got no money to go nowhere, make sure you can make yourself a decent dinner for that day. Sit down, watch a couple wrestling shows, old school wrestling shows, or watch a good movie that you haven't had the chance to watch and really enjoy your time. Self-care is important. And instead of listening to those voices in your head constantly screaming you're lonely, find something to fill your time and start setting those new goals for the new year. We don't do resolutions around these parts. Okay, we set goals and we look to attain them. Okay, resolutions are bullshit. Goals are true. Okay, and we want realistic shit. You know, we're not setting goals that are not attainable. You know, I want $1 million. Okay, so do I. In this lifetime, we know that that may not be possible. Is it attainable? Maybe. Is it possible? We want realism. Okay? Realistic shit. All right? I understand it. Merry Christmas. I'm going to MSG on Thursday. I hope you have a good time. Okay? So, we're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy our Christmas. We're going to have a happy new year. Okay. And we're going to start the new year off right. Over here in this channel, on this channel, you need to make sure, number one, that you are subscribed. Okay. Because you are missing out on excellent content. We do character breakdowns over here. Okay. We're starting new content next year. All right. We're going to have some cooking stuff. We're going to have some book club. We got wrestling book club coming. This is members exclusive content. And they will decide what is released for you and what isn't. I'm sorry, but they're paying, so they got to decide. But you guys join the channel. You still will get all the lives and all the videos and everything that I normally produce. But if you want the extra stuff, the cooking videos, we're going to start doing some makeup tutorials of some of the female wrestlers' looks. We might even include the face paint of some of the male wrestlers. We're going to do a whole lot of stuff over here next year. It's going to be a fun time. But you got to be subscribed so you can make sure you can catch everything. Also, if you want to be a member, the memberships are super cheap. $99 to $2.99, and you get major discounts on all of our merch, which is always linked in all of my live videos and videos that I've posted. You can always go to the community tab and check out the store. The store has all of our merch that is up, and we're going to add some new t-shirts and everything that you guys can purchase over on the site as well. So make sure you follow me on all my socials. They're always scrolling at the bottom. And if you want to work to dedicate to the channel, please do. You can either be a member, you can always donate through Cash App, or you can just subscribe and share. All of that stuff is free 99. I love you guys. Have a happy, healthy new year and a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you guys get all your gifts and all the love that you need. And if nobody tells you today that they love you, just remember that I love you. Okay? Somebody out there also loves you. You'll find them and meet them soon. But for now, you got me. That's all that matters. That's all that matters because I'm important. Period. Stupid. So make sure you have a good day. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Wednesday is Christmas Day. Enjoy those days. Don't stress. Enjoy them. And then make sure that you guys don't drink too much. If you do, make sure you drink water. Okay? Let's be nice. If we're eating a lot of food at different places, let's pace ourselves. Okay? All right? When we're doing our rounds, let's pace ourselves. Yeah? New Year's, definitely got to pace yourself with the alcohol. Relax, sis. Calm yourself. Drink plenty of water. Hydrate. I will see you guys on Thursday. You guys have a good day, and I hope you have a happy holidays. Love you.
If you don't want to see me, if you don't want to see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I